Hello guys from Bali. Yes, Bali in Indonesia. Well, actually, this is technically an island called Florence, or Flores, that's it. And I've been trekking for the past 5 hours to the top of this mountain, to this remote village. There are loads of other tourists here as well. And it's just been absolutely amazing talking to the village elder. And he's been explaining how through a translator, of course, how this village has been here for 19 generations. And it got me thinking about the importance of stories. For each of these guys, everything happens in community here. And they sit around in circles, they eat together, they share stories that are passed down through the generations. And it helps people understand who they are, what is their identity, what are their values. Now, that's a really important thing, because unless we reinforce those things, we forget them. Now, the men's weekend, we're going to be focusing in on the stories that God has chosen to showcase in the Bible. And those stories are there for a really, really important reason. They're stories of people like Joseph and Jacob, who were arrogant and ended up being humbled, and then God exalted them in the end. People like Moses and Gideon. Moses born into the nobility, and then just couldn't stand it anymore and ended up leading slaves out of Egypt, and he couldn't speak properly, dealing with insecurities. Gideon, oh my gosh, what a loser. God absolutely transformed him in the process. So it's amazing, like these are real people. Peter, Paul, they're real people with real stories, real insecurities, real stuff. But God had a plan for them. God had a purpose for them. Now, the Bible says that God has prepared works in advance for us to do. So that means each one of us have the same purpose. That means each one of us is in a story. And God is taking each one of us on a story, on a journey. So this weekend, it's going to be an amazing time for the guys in the church to get together, understand what our stories are, as we hear about other stories, not just stories from the Bible, but stories from real men in the church, and what they have been learning, how God has been forming them. God forms us through stories. And the purpose, why is it a good idea? Well, when God says, I'm like more than a conqueror, and I'm loved, and I have what it takes, blah, blah, blah. You know, when I look in the mirror, I don't really see that. I've forgotten who I am. And that's what the Bible says. The Bible tells us who God is, and the Bible tells us who we are. So come and join us. It's going to be an amazing time. We've got a whole bunch of guys already signed up, so we're going to have a great number of people there. But don't miss out, folks. It's a really important opportunity to connect with guys and share your story. And who knows, you might leave this weekend with a fresh understanding of who God is and who you are. See you there.